In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. As the accounts tell it, 1 trillion souls die every single day, and almost none of their names are ever written down. But this is not where the story begins. There was a time, long before the ash and the endless night, when the galaxy almost belonged to humanity. They called it the Great Crusade. A golden fleet of cathedral ships crossed the void to reunite 1,000 scattered human worlds under one banner. At its head stood a being of impossible light, remembered only as the Emperor, and beside him marched his 20 superhuman sons. We call them the Primarchs. Warriors engineered to be gods, each one leading a legion of transhuman soldiers. 2 of those sons would later be erased so completely that even their names were struck from every record, as if they had never lived at all. For a time it worked. Worlds burned, then healed. The darkness retreated. And the greatest of these sons, the one his brothers loved most, was raised above them all. His name was Horus. After a great triumph, the Emperor named him Warmaster, first among equals, and turned his own face away from the front lines to pursue a secret work back on Earth. 2 brothers clasped arms on the walls of a fortress, and for one bright moment, the future looked like victory. That was the wound at the heart of everything: pride, love, and the absence of a father who left. On a world called Davin, Horus was struck by a poisoned blade, an ancient Xenos weapon that carried something far worse than venom. As he lay dying on a stone altar, whispers came for him. In many stories, it was a priest named Erebus who guided the ritual, who fed the Warmaster a vision of a future where his father had abandoned them all and claimed godhood for himself. Horus woke healed in body and broken in soul. The most loyal son in the galaxy had become its greatest traitor. He did not turn alone. Half of his brothers came with him. And the first thing a traitor must do is kill the loyal men standing at his own side. Above a world called Istvan, Horus rained life-eating virus bombs onto his own legions, purging every warrior who might still answer to the Emperor. The sky turned to ash. Brothers fired on brothers. The war had begun before anyone loyal even knew there was a war. Then came the trap. On the black sands of Istvan V, the Emperor sent a great host to punish the traitor. Loyalist legions made planetfall and drove Horus back, until a second wave of reinforcements landed behind them, raised their guns, and opened fire into their brothers' backs. It is remembered as the Drop Site Massacre. In the ash storm, one Primarch cut the head from another, Fulgrim striking down his brother Ferrus Manus, and the shattered survivors scattered into the dark to fight a war they could no longer win. Elsewhere, a proud red-armored son knelt in the ruins of his burning homeworld of Prospero, a library of ancient knowledge collapsing into glass and fire behind him, punished for a warning no one had wanted to hear. Now nothing stood between the traitor and the throne of humanity. The Black Fleet turned toward Earth. They called it Terra. The heart of the Imperium, fortified into a mountain of Gothic walls, defenders massing on ramparts that stretched beyond the horizon. This was the Siege of Terra, the end of all things, and everyone who lived through it knew it. The walls held for a long time, and then they did not. Aboard the Warmaster's flagship, one of the noblest of all the brothers, the winged angel Sanguinius, faced Horus alone. As the stories tell it, he knew he would lose, and he fought anyway. The light in him guttered out, and he fell. It was the death that finally broke the Emperor's heart and drew him personally into the fire. Father against son, beneath dead stars. The Emperor teleported aboard the flagship and found what remained of the boy he had raised. What followed was the most tragic duel ever fought. In the end, the father destroyed the son so utterly that the powers of chaos could never reclaim his soul, and in doing so, took a wound that would never heal. They carried the broken god back to Earth. As the accounts tell it, they sealed his dying body into a colossal golden throne of cables and machinery, a life support engine the size of a cathedral, keeping him barely alive so that he might never truly die. The light dimmed to a single ember. The galaxy he had almost saved kept burning without him. And so we arrive here, 10,000 years later, in a future with no dawn and no mercy. After all of it, the Brotherhood, the Crusade, the betrayal, and the throne, only one thing remained: only war.